What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So do undocumented immigrants get Social Security checks? And are they taking away Social Security from Americans? I want to talk a little bit about this because I always get comments where people will say, oh, that's because Social Security is having a problem right now with the trust fund because you have undocumented people receiving Social Security benefits. And so we're going to break down both undocumented and documented. We're going to take a look at how much they contribute to Social Security, and do they receive anything as a result of contributing to Social Security? So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. And also, you can send me an email, david@thetecshow.com. If you dispute what I'm talking about today, send me an email, show me a link, show me some videos of the reason why you're disputing this. And maybe I'll do a follow-up video and we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, so the short answer is when it comes to undocumented immigrants receiving Social Security benefits, they absolutely don't. They can't. It's impossible. And we're going to go over some of the reasons why it's impossible, but they do contribute to Social Security. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And then we'll talk about documented immigrants and what they need to do in order to qualify for Social Security benefits. Okay, so first thing, when it comes to someone who is undocumented, that means they're here without paperwork. So they are legally here. So if they are working, they don't have a Social Security number. If you are here undocumented, you do not have a Social Security number. So you heard that Social Security numbers were going out to people who were immigrants. Those immigrants are here legally. They had legal documentation to be here, and they were given work permits, and they were giving a Social Security number only for tax purposes. And so it's not a regular Social Security card, but you have to have a Social Security number in order to contribute, to pay taxes, FICA taxes, all that. So you have people who are legally here contributing, and then you also have people who are undocumented. They're also contributing because what they do sometimes is they will get a Social Security number that's not theirs, and they will work and they will contribute that way. But what's interesting about the undocumented immigrants that are contributing and they're taking, it's fraud basically, you're using false information, that money, they will never see that money because they're not legally here. There's no record of that money. That money is going to a separate file called an earnings suspense file, and they will never see that money. Now, that money can be used to help pay out benefits for people who are currently receiving Social Security. But for the undocumented person, they're working, they're contributing, their employer is actually matching that, so they're contributing as well, but that money will never go to that undocumented individual. Now, the only way that an undocumented person can receive benefits in the long run, Social Security benefits, they have to change their status. So they can't be undocumented. They have to legally be here. And as I stated, that information when they were undocumented, it's just like they don't exist. So they're not going to get any of that money. They're not earning towards Social Security at that time. They only start earning towards Social Security if they are legally in the country. Okay, so once again, if you're undocumented and let's say you are working and you're borrowing someone's Social Security number, you're using a fake Social Security number, or you're using someone else's Social Security number that you don't even know who that person is, those people are not able to receive Social Security benefits. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about how much they contribute and how much documented immigrants contribute as well in a minute. But let's talk about if you are legally here. So let's say you're a refugee. Let's say you're seeking asylum, but you were given permission to work in the U.S. Well, those individuals, yes, they can earn towards Social Security benefits, but it's the same requirement that you and I have. You need to be of the age where you can start collecting Social Security. You need to contribute at least 10 years or 40 credits. So all of the requirements that I would have to receive Social Security benefits, they also have to have in order to receive Social Security benefits. Okay, now I want to show you this illustration. And we're looking at an illustration here. So it says at the top here, Social Security contributions, and then it says Medicare contributions. So you have Social Security and Medicare here, but I want to mainly focus on Social Security. Okay, so looking at the information down here, it says undocumented immigrants contribute over $25.7 billion to Social Security and $6.4 billion to Medicare annually. And then right below that, it says documented immigrants have contributed $294 billion to Social Security from 2010 to 2020, with a net positive impact of $17 billion more than they receive. And so, as I stated, if you have legal documents to be here, so if you're an immigrant and you're a documented immigrant, you can contribute to Social Security, but in the long run, you have more money that's going to the Social Security Trust Fund than you have legal immigrants that are receiving the benefits. And what you have a lot of, some people will work, maybe they work 5-6 years, and then they go back to their home country. So they don't stay in the U.S. Some will stay in the U.S., they'll work, they'll get their credits, but not everyone does. And just like us, for me as an example, I paid into a pension when I worked. I didn't pay into Social Security. And so now I'm working on my credits. But let's say I decided, you know what, I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to work towards credits. Then I would have contributed 6 or 7 years to Social Security, but I will not be able to receive Social Security benefits. And so that money just goes to the trust funds and help pays out benefits for other people. Or you have some people, unfortunately, they pass away or different circumstances where they're not going to be able to collect Social Security benefits. So when we're looking at documented immigrants as well as undocumented immigrants, they actually are helping Social Security. They're helping the trust funds. They're helping pay out benefits, and they're not drawing on Social Security. And another thing, some people will say, well, SSI, they qualify for SSI, right? That a very small number of individuals, you have to be a citizen in order to qualify, or you have special circumstances. But if you are undocumented, listen to what I'm saying. If you're undocumented, you cannot qualify for SSI. So you can't qualify for Social Security, and you can't qualify for SSI. Now, there are some state programs that are out there that will help undocumented immigrants, but if you are not legally here in the U.S., when it comes to the federal system, you don't qualify for SSI, and you can't qualify for Social Security benefits. And then to go even a step further when it comes to Social Security, right now we have a problem. We have a trust fund that is slowly being depleted. And they're saying in about 9 years, both the trust funds that we have, they're going to be completely depleted. So by 2034 is the projection right now. And one of the reasons why our Social Security Trust Fund is having issues is because we don't have enough people in the workforce compared to the amount of people who are receiving Social Security benefits. One way to change that is to have more people in the workforce contributing to FICA. You have more people contributing to FICA, that's more money that goes to the trust funds, and that will help prolong the program. So not only do we have enough people in the workforce, but one more thing, we have issues when it comes to birth rate. Our birth rate numbers are down. And so, yes, we can increase the birth rate, and that's why you see the child tax credits and things like that. The government is trying to incentivize people to have more children. But the only problem with that is if you have more children now, you're not going to see the results of that for another 18 to 20 years. And so one way to speed up that process is by having more immigrants in the country, because you have more immigrants that are here, that are legally here, that can legally work and contribute to Social Security. That's more money that will go into the trust fund. And so if you have more money going into Social Security, it will prolong the trust funds. And so that's one of the issues that we're dealing with. Now, they still need to reform Social Security. That needs to happen. But when we're listening to some politicians talk about Social Security and talk about immigrants and say that immigrants, they're taking Social Security money away from citizens and all of that, they're not telling you the truth. And they're usually doing it for political gain, because the reality is, if you look at the numbers are showing you that immigrants are actually helping Social Security. They're helping the program. And so the next time you hear someone say that illegal immigrants are taking Social Security away from American citizens, show them this video. Share this video with them, because this is the reality. And right now there's a lot going on when it comes to immigration. You're seeing a lot of people being deported and all that. I'm telling you right now, that is going to have a negative impact on contributions going to Social Security. Because if you are deporting all of those people, that they're no longer going to be contributing to Social Security. And so that money won't be going to those trust funds. And so we will see an impact as a result of this. And so that's all I have for today. Make sure you like this video and share this video. And I'll be doing the same. So when I see someone in the comments say, well, it's because of the illegal immigrants, guess what? I'm going to have a link to I'm going to reply to their comment with the link to this video so they can check it out for themselves. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.